Bismillah walhamdulillah wa sallallahu ala rasulillah. We're in part 3. We're going to explain this bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. We mentioned first the proof from eternality. Allah existed before the creation. Place is not Allah. Place is something other than Allah. So we'll mention that inshallah. So place was not existing. And after Allah Ta'ala originated place, with the beginning of creation, the first creation was the primordial water, the original water. With the creation of the water was the creation of what? Place. So a place did not exist until Allah Ta'ala created the first what? Body. Because when the body was created, the place had to go along with the body. So after Allah Ta'ala created places, Allah did not go from what? Existing before the creation without a place, and then transform and what? Materialize in a place. You follow? So this is Tanzim. So now let's go to the next proof, which is related, very closely related to this. The proof from, what was it? The proof from non-resemblance. Non-neediness. Non-neediness.
Non-neediness and non-resemblance, the last one.
No. So proof from non-neediness. Similar, I erased it, I shouldn't have erased it. But anyway, Allah existed before the creation. And then we can just add this detail which we didn't mention here, but we can mention here. Allah existed before the creation. Place is other than Allah. That is, place is a creation. Just a detail to add in there to make, because you want to go, you're taking somebody by their hand, step by step, walking them through, so that their intellect can see this. Place or direction, the same would apply, right? Because we said direction is related to what? Place. So Allah existed before the creation. Place is other than Allah. That is, place is a creation. Allah did not need place before places existed. And Allah does not need place after creating place. He does not need a place after creating places, if you wish. Because, again, Allah's attribute of what? Non-neediness. Being in a place is what? Requisite, required, contingent, dependent. Dependent. Can you fit a blue whale in this room, as this room is, and as an adult, healthy, full-grown blue whale, can you fit it in this room? No. Why? Because the blue whale requires more space. Allah's existence is not contingent upon anything. Can you fit a full gallon of water inside this cup?
No, sir.
No.
You're big enough.
Why not? Because the full gallon requires what? A larger volume, more space. Allah's not attributed with volume. Allah's not attributed with volume. They don't understand. That's why we say, when you mention Laysa kamithlihi shay, they don't. That's why I say, they'll say, you don't go into philosophy, quote the Quran. Dude, if I quote the Quran, you don't understand it. If I tell you Laysa kamithlihi shay, if I say Allah is one, that's enough to tell you Allah exists without a place. But I know you don't understand it. So I'll mention it, but I'll mention these proofs for the reasonable person who's confused and wants to see the light. For you, what can I do for you? You're sick. What can I do? Quote the Quran. Dude, if I quote it, what are you going to understand? Because you still believe in God as a body. You follow? Because he's operating from the wrong assumption. He's assuming God is some sort of shape, object, form. And the Sunni is saying what at Tahawi said, Allah is clear of all boundaries, extremities, signs, organs, etc. None of the 6 directions contain Allah. So the Sunni is coming from what? A different worldview from the Wahhabi. 2 different worldviews. One is assuming that God is a form, the other one is saying God is clear form, shape, size, and place. 2 different beliefs. طيب. And the last one, the proof from non-resemblance.
Can that summing up with the sickness be a sickness of shaitan?
What these people, they think they're praising God by saying God is sitting in person. They think this is a praise for the Creator.
Refute shaitan.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Wow. Pretty heavy right there.
So Allah absolutely, what's the word? Absolutely does not resemble any of the creations. Objects, bodies, images, they have size and place. Allah does not resemble objects, bodies, images. So Allah does not have a size and exists without a place. Anything with a size would have a what? Place. That's what we're talking about. So proof from what? Eternality. Allah exists without a beginning. Proof that Allah doesn't. Proof from the fact that Allah doesn't need any of the creations, and proof that Allah does not resemble any of the creations. It is easy for the one whom Allah Ta'ala made it easy to understand. The one whom Allah blocked them. You have people who want to pray to rats. I'm sure if somebody sat and talked to this guy and explained to him why that belief is invalid, I'm sure many of them would not accept it.
Yeah.
He's praying to a rat. Or rats. And the rat is a low creature by any standards.
Means he wants to do that.
Yeah, he wants it. As what's it saying? He likes it that way. He likes it that way. So the people are misguided on many levels. The thing with the Wahhabi that makes him so dangerous is he pretends to be Muslim. And then, of course, he spreads this bad belief of God being an object.
Yeah.
And then he kills those who
Don't
oppose him.
believe.
Yeah. Especially those who expose him.
Yeah.
Not just oppose him, but expose him.
Yeah.
When you explain, you say, okay, it's not like that, it's like this, it's not like that, it's like this.
Even without the harm people, they're dangerous. One, because they pretend to be Muslim.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a hard job for us because we have to
Go through all the...
Yeah, to show like no, we're not a part of them.
What country carries the biggest of the Wahhabis?
Saudi.
Saudi Arabia.
I mean, that's their home base.
Their
That's
home
where-
base, Saudi Arabia.
You know, and they came to power with the help of the British.
British, yeah.
I mean, even now, who are they getting their weapons from?
Same people.
Yeah, Britain's the British Navy.
In America, same people.
I was amazed that Saudi has like maybe the third or fourth highest military budget in the world.
Really?
Yeah. No, it's not. I mean, it was USA, maybe Russia or China, and then maybe Russia, and then it was like Saudi. It was something. It was like top 5,
Yeah.
and it's not that big of a country.
No.
Top
and,
5.
and it's most of it is inhabited.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
mostly desert. Like most of the people live in the major cities.
The Britain get their name Great Britain from plundering other land.
Yeah, of
From the other
course.
countries, yeah.
They said what the sun never set on the British Empire. Right? All these countries that they conquered. I mean, they're nothing like they used to be
Yeah.
because after World War II, Hitler did a job on them.
Yeah.
But they're still kind of powerful. But they got their power originally. All these people speak English all over the world
Yeah.
because of the power of the British Army.
Invade other countries.
Yeah, of course they invaded and stole.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm saying they still have their hand in the money.
Yeah, oh no, they're still in the mix.
Yeah, they still.
Yeah, but they don't have the type of muscle that they used to.
Yeah.
The Americans are the muscle. man.
Yeah, I would say
They're the enforcers. When it's time to, when they want to take over something, then they call them the Americans.
Cause America, okay.
And then Billy Bob, he goes gets his leg shot off
Yeah.
for these people. He's happy to do it.
Yeah, and don't even know it's for a whole nother country.
Allah. Yeah, Allah.
So the minimum leg got blown
Yeah,
off on
gender.
that, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Then
definitely.
they want you to give them something.
Okay, طيب. How much time now?
5 minutes.
Okay, طيب.
6 minutes. 14 minutes.
Yeah, طيب. Let's continue, inshallah. So now, let's talk about the problem of literalism. This is talking about next week. Inshallah, we're going to talk about the history of the Wahhabis. Inshallah. Not detail, but just kind of quick overview. So we need to deal with this because as today, you will encounter these people.
They are out there.
They are out there. This is not like theoretical stuff. By
they attack
literalism, what we mean is that they say we take this verse by its most apparent meaning. This is what they say. And they say you have to take all the verses referring to Allah by their most apparent. This is their claim. This is not our claim. Okay, so this is the topic. So we will start first with the Sunni belief. Any verse here, meaning Quranic verse or hadith,
Brother Ali,
yes, sir.
do any Wahhabis consider themselves as Sunni?
That's what they consider themselves to be. They say the Sunnis, and they'll say, "Oh, that's like the non-Sunnis." No, they're.
Jacked up.
Yeah, they say, "Oh, the Sunnis." Oh, and then the Ash'aris say, "Well, who are the Sunnis other than the Ash'aris and the Maturidis?" They say, "Oh, we follow the Salaf according to your understanding of what you claim the Salaf said." Meaning for them, I'm not talking about you. Let me finish this thing. And by literal here, there's a little bit of a detail linguistically, but meaning by what is the most apparent meaning. This is what we mean by literal in this case. The meaning that will first come to the person's mind. So the Sunnis say that any verse or hadith that some might misunderstand and think that Allah has spatial properties should not be taken literally. Meaning by its most apparent meaning. The Wahhabis say we have to take all the verses pertaining to Allah literally, but they don't apply even their own claim. So they impose the rule on us, but they don't
Apply it to
they don't apply it to themselves. And indeed, the verses that they don't take literally, many of them, that's right. They did the right thing. But there's still the problem with their ideology. We'll add this here.
But even among them, it's different sects. Right?
Yeah. Like some say Allah is sitting in person on the arsh, or sitting or established on the arsh. Some they kind of like, no, he's not on the arsh, he's above it. Like they argue among themselves. You can just take a picture of this last statement. You don't have to copy it. The Wahhabi false assumption is that Allah is some sort of object. So this is what they're working from. This is the framework that they're working from. They don't use the phrase some sort of object. They don't use that phrase. They always say, no, we don't say that. But again, what do we say? Statements have what?
Meanings.
Implications, right? When you're talking about something with limits, you're talking about some kind of what? Object. Yeah, just the Arabic word is just. When you're talking about something that's sitting in person, you're talking about some sort of what? Object. Something that's going from one location to another. Object. This is what it is. Object, body, spatial entity. We don't mean necessarily that they mean a flesh, blood and flesh body. No, but something, some sort of dimensional being.
Well, they said person.
Yeah. They don't mean a human person. I know in Arabic it's a little, but still the fact that they would even translate, they say that is so hideous.
Yeah.
I mean, how would our brothers ever translate something and say something like that? It would never happen.
Right. Like what's other than a human being that's called a person?
Yeah, in Arabic there's a detail. There is, I know why they say it that way, but still, like this did not disturb anybody who read this document. Like, dude, like how would you say this? Okay, and when we said, what do they try to do? They try to follow it up by saying that God has these attributes like a hand, eyes, face, and then they say, but it befits him. But you're still talking about what? Body and shape. So let's go back to what we said as we closed it for today. And we'll talk more about this because we cannot go into all of it tonight. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, we will cover it and cap it off next week, inshallah. But we want to get to the core of it, just so we are strong, inshallah. Okay, good. طيب, what did I do?
Under the paper.
Oh, there it is. There you go. Allah doesn't want for you to see something.
You ain't see it. You ain't see it. Didn't even feel it.
Allah.
Took your hand right on top of it.
Allah.
I didn't know you were looking for it.
Allah.
He went looking in his pocket. I didn't put it in his pocket.
Yeah, didn't think it was there.
Like, wow.
The Wahhabi says Allah has and they will use the word literal, face. They will use the word literal. They say Allah has a literal face. The Sunni says, what was our first principle we mentioned earlier? Words
Have
Have
meaning.
definition.
have meanings. And then we say, literal means, the word literal, literal means the most common usage of the term. If I say, for example, Brother Dhul-Nun is a lion, am I using the word lion literally? No, it's figurative. Because a lion is what? A large cat, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you're not literally a large cat. MashaAllah. So when I say Dhul-Nun is a lion, I don't mean it what? Literally. Because the most common usage of the word lion, what immediately comes to mind without any context?
A gold feline.
Yeah, large, golden colored female. Yeah. So words have meaning. So literal means the most common usage of the usage term, most common usage of the term. And face means, what does face mean?
The front of the head.
The front part of the head. That's the meaning. These are words. So he said you have to take the term what? Take the literal meaning. And the literal meaning means the front part of the head. So the literal meaning of face means the front part of the head. The Wahhabi says Allah's, he says, the Wahhabi says Allah's literal face is not the front part of the head. That's what he will say. Allah's literal face is not the front part of the head.
But he got two faces. I mean, never said not the front. I mean,
Well, let's finish. We're
Okay.
almost done, inshallah, because we're running out of time. And the Sunni says to that, we're going back to here, the Sunni, from what they said here. It is absurd to attribute a literal face to Allah and then reject the meaning of face and literal. And then just to close out this, to mention it, inshallah we'll copy it next week. We affirm the attributes of Allah in the Arabic language. And you can either just stop there, affirm Allah is attributed with this. In Arabic, the word would be wajh, that befits Him, which would not be what body part, shape, or form, because we already established Allah is in the body, shape, or form. Allah is attributed with wajh. It has a multitude of meanings, and when one would interpret it, he would take a meaning that is befitting of Allah. So without going into talking about saying it's a face, and then saying it's not the front part of the head, but it is a literal face. This is gibberish. This is gibberish. Walhamdulillah, wa sallallahu ala rasulillah.